Hey peeps, welcome to the Crafty Witch UK. My name is Arietta, and this evening we will be having a go at the second chapter of Koriko, A Magical Year by Jack Harrison. Koriko is a single player journal and tarot based RPG, but I am taking all sorts of inspiration from those of you in the live chat. So if you want to be a part of creating this world and these characters, then that is where you need to be. In between sessions, if you want to pop some ideas in the comments, of course, if you're having to watch on replay, then you are more than welcome to. That being said, let's see who we've got in the comments. I've got a lovely little message from Ash saying that they're probably going to be late, but that is fine, my dear. I will see you when you get here, or you can catch us on a replay. And we've got lovely Roxy the Dotty Crafter with us. So welcome. So if you are here for the first time, do pop into the comments and say hello. It's always nice to be able to welcome you properly. And of course, if you're watching on replay, let me know. So where did we get to last time? I've written up my notes from last time. And so I'll give you a little overview very quickly. So our character's name is Amethyst. I am a 16-year-old witch in training, and when you first see me, you'll probably notice my purple hair, which I often wear in long braids, and my round glasses. I wear a large amethyst pendant on a chain, which was passed down from my great-grandmother, and I carry my book bag with me pretty much everywhere. You'll probably notice that my familiar is a duckling called Peep. They are a cheeky little thing and never leave my side. I received Peep for my birthday, and our bond is already so strong that we can even talk to each other, though you probably won't understand us. Most folks in the village would say that I'm a bit strange and too curious for my own good. As for me, I think I'm just restless and inquisitive. I'm writing this from Woodhaven, the quiet little village I have lived in all my life. I live here with Garnet, the village witch. She is my grandmother. People in the village say that she is wise but grouchy, but she can be quite warm and funny when it's just us. Since I decided to concentrate on my witch training, my grandmother Garnet has been my mentor, teaching me the basics of the old ways. We've learned a lot together, but now it's time for me to put it into practice on my own, far from their guiding hand. Me and Pete will be leaving on the next full moon, just 2 days from now, to spend a year away. I hope to make Garnet proud, but also I want to meet new people and learn new things. Sometimes I dream about my new home, and I wake up with lingering memories of sweet pastries, distant music, and cat hair. So we then spent a couple of days saying farewell to the people in our village and going about our day. So I leave in 2 days. I'm looking forward to a change of pace from the village monotony of everyday life and living in a place where everyone knows everyone else's business. I will, of course, miss Grandmother Garnet and also my best friend Willow. This evening I met up with Willow. They are a tree fae, and I have been best friends with them for as long as I can remember. We took a picnic of cake and elderflower cordial and walked deep into the woods at the edge of Woodhaven. Eventually, just as the moon was cresting the canopy of the trees, we came to their tree, our tree now, the tree where we had first met. We sat there, huddled in a hollow at the base of the trunk. We shared silly stories from our past and made promises for the future. All the while, Pete waddled around our picnic blanket, hoovering up any dropped crumbs and letting out a high cheep when he wanted a little scratch under his beak. I woke this morning, my mind still filled with memories of last night's farewell picnic. I will miss Willow so much. They are the only one who I feel really gets me, and having to leave them for a year is like leaving a part of myself behind. I'll miss Grandmother Garnet too, of course, but I know that this is part of the training, and she always knew I'd be leaving eventually. Thinking about my new home, I hope I find friends there who like me, even though I'm a bit weird, and sometimes I hope that I will find some big tomes of magic to study. I'm not going to miss having such nosy neighbours. No rest for the wicked. Even though I leave tomorrow, I still got called on to help out a villager today. Old Man Radish has been at war again with the local rabbit population who keep eating his lettuces, and he has requested our help. I went down to his allotment with Peep to see what was going on. Eventually, I got Peep to speak to one of the rabbits, a buck called Thorn, who who explained that this plot of land was always free for them to graze, but Radish has expanded his garden into this spot, so they thought the vegetables he was planting here were for them. I spoke to Old Man Radish and he agreed to leave a row of veg for the rabbits so long as they left the rest alone. Pete got an extra large treat as a thank you for his help. I couldn't have done this without him. And just like that, I am on my own. It was a perfect send-off though. Grandmother Garnet and Willow walked beside me as we took the winding path to the top of the hill, known in the village as Sky Touch Hill, as it's the highest point here. Willow gave me the biggest hug, and I couldn't look at them because I knew I would cry. Finally, they gave Pete a scratch under their beak and pressed a small leather pouch into the palm of my hand before walking back into the shadow of the trees, leaving me alone with Grandmother Garnet. Grandmother Garnet takes my hand and I see pride in her face. She tells me that I have everything I need to succeed within me. I just need to trust myself. We stand for a few minutes looking out over the village of Woodhaven until Pete starts squeaking that it's time to fly. We look up and see a shower of shooting stars all headed north. That's my sign. Grandmother Garnet pops a wrapped box into my book bag and gives me one last squeeze before I am hopping onto my broom and into the sky, following the direction of the stars. I already feel so far from home. I've been flying for nearly a whole day, but have now stopped in a welcoming cluster of trees to eat and rest. I really hope I don't make a fool of myself when I get to my new town. Whilst I'm resting, I take time to open my leaving gifts. The parcel from Grandmother Garnet contained a beautiful ornate writing pen with a sparkling garnet at the end. Looking further into the box, I also found a small vial of sparkling ink. It was so mesmerising to watch the light in the bottle glow. I will keep these for special use only. The small leather pouch from Willow contained a single acorn with our initials carved into it. It was beautiful in its simplicity. I don't think I'd been back in the air very long when grey clouds began to gather, and I knew that I would need to seek shelter from whatever storm was surely on its way. The blanket of trees beneath me gave way to reveal an old ruined building, good enough for my needs. As I land, I get the feeling that I'm not the first to stop here this night. The air here is heavy with the scent of recently extinguished campfire. Whenever I need to rest, I find the trees below me guiding my way, be that leading me to a hollow tree I can rest in, or seemingly showing me a path to the next resting spot. Ahead, I see an opening as the trees. Smoke rises from the chimney of an old rustic building. This is the Never Lonely Inn, and as a delicious smell greets me, I see their sign, Best Treacle Tart. Many travellers seem to be stopping here to rest or just to eat. It's almost overwhelming to see so many people after being so alone. I will spend the night here and begin again tomorrow. And then we reach Koriko. Despite its size, I almost fly straight past the city of Koriko. It is entirely surrounded by dense forest with no obvious road in or out. However, the longer I looked, the trees seemed to part for me, welcome me into this secluded city. The few people I see are curious about me. They seem surprised that anyone new could find this place. It's been a long time since a witch came to Koriko. And then the last thing I did was write my first letter home. So, dear Grandmother Garnet, I hope you are well and that everyone in Woodhaven is happy and healthy. I've settled in a small city called Koriko. It is set in dense woodland. I think Willow would like it here. I'm currently staying at a local inn called the Pine Lodge, but it's expensive, so I really need to find a place of my own soon. Despite being a city, Koriko is really green. Pete likes the many waterways that run through the city too. I think that I chose this place for the trees, or maybe they chose me. I have to go now. If you see Willow, give them a hug from me. Much love, Amethyst. And so that is where we left off last time, with a little bit of additional background added. And we are now into our life in Koriko, which will be split into 4 seasons. I am slightly regretting not reading a little bit further forward in the book in our downtime, because some of this is set up stuff, but I'll try and whiz through this as quickly as I can so we can get into more creativity and storytelling. So The rest of your story will take place in and around the city as the year passes and the seasons change. We know this. You will need to set up and learn a few more things. Okay. So a note on tarot. We've got our tarot. It's split into major and minor arcana. And we've got cups, wands, swords, and coins. This deck is the Animals Divine deck. This is the book that comes with it. It is by Lisa Hunt. Hi Ash, welcome. It's all right. All I've done is recap so far. You've not missed anything. So that is the deck that I will be using. It is my favourite tarot deck. And I've got my pot of dice here for when we need them. Oh, I need to prepare a deck. Okay. So we need piles of wands and cups and stuff. See, this is the thing I wish I'd read through before, because then I could have done it off of stream. But anyways, chat amongst yourself for a bit while I make piles of cards. Cups, swords, swords. Major arcana. Pentacle, pentacle, cups. Cups. You do get to have a look at all my cards now then, so that's quite nice for you. Cups, wands, cups, swords, had I realised that these would need to be organised, I think I might have chosen a different deck, just because this is the deck that I use and I'm going to have to mess it up again in order to actually use it. But that's fine. Pentacles, lovers, wands, wands, full, judgment, pentacles. Emperor, oh, the duckling, the Ace of Swords. So that's Peep's card, clearly. Pentacles. Cups, swords, justice, wands, pentacles. Swords, cups, wands, strength, swords, wands, 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 swords, swords. Right, wands. Oh, Ash, while I remember, I've put up a poll on the community tab asking people to put forward times and days that work for them if they want to take part in the Zoom stuff, so that we can arrange a second Zoom that works for our international people. So, swords and magician. Okay. Right. So we've got our wands pile, our cups, our swords. Move you out a little bit so you can. Oops. Wands, cups, swords, and coins. Take all 14 major cards. Right, and then I've got to take out the magician. Oh, okay, right, gotcha. Right, so magician, moon, hermit. Where's the chariot going? That's going in that one. So we're adding in the, oh gosh, sorry, my brain's all over the place today. We're adding in the major arcana cards into our piles of suits based on what it says in the book. So we've got magician, high priestess, hermit, and moon, strength, star, justice, emperor, judge, judgment. I'm just going to check because it says justice, but mine is judgment, and now I'm confused. Yeah, I think judgment and justice are the same. It's just different words for the same thing. For lovers, it's going in that one. Empress, from the sun. Temperance. Right. Those. Right. Okay. It's far more complicated than I thought it was going to be. I am so sorry. Yeah, this is definitely a setup that I should have done previously. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So it says, take the 4 major arcanas, shuffle these face down, and select one. Combine it and shuffle well, and then select another one and place it on top. Okay. And then the same for this one. Right, so shuffle these. Okay, that one is going to get shuffled in, and then the other ones won't be used. Oh, so no, justice and judgment aren't the same, because I've just realised that. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I bet judgment is the devil card in this deck, because I don't think there is one. That's probably the case. yeah, so the Wheel, the Death card. Yeah. Gotcha. I think I'm understanding it now. Right. Okay, dokes. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you haven't missed anything. I was a bit of a wally and really should have prepped the tarot cards beforehand because I didn't realise that there was a specific way they had to be laid out. So I'm just doing that at the moment. So yeah, we'll see how far we get this time. I'm really not sure. So right, we've got our piles down. So they should be wands. Yeah. Then cups, then swords, then pentacles. Right. Okay, setting up our intentions, drawing cards, adding confidants, cards and twists. I think I'll come back to this as we go. And then we've got a flow chart here on like what to do once you draw a card. So I think we'll be okay. I'm going to stick, this book luckily comes with a couple of little ribbon bookmarks. So okay, volumes. So when you set your intentions, you create a volume deck. Add 2 cards from each suit deck. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And shuffle them together. Ooh. Okay. I am confused now. Okay, right. I think I understand. I think. So, the first thing we do is we turn over a card. So it's a new day in the village. Okay, so we got the Lovers. So, this is going to mean, let's have a look. I think they're a confidant, aren't they? Let's have a look. Magician, High Priestess. Got to find the right page. The Lovers. Okay. So, we are being introduced to the Lovers. They are a sunny, harmonious, tender couple. Their foundation is solid, but a challenge could be coming. What can you learn by helping them get through it? You're sat in a cafe taking a break. What has made you feel especially worn down today? Are you feeling homesick? Have you had some bad feedback? You've been sleeping badly? Obviously, our story so far has ended with us staying in the inn, but we need to find somewhere more permanent to stay. So perhaps it would make sense that we have gone to this cafe to so we've met the Lovers. I'm just making notes here. So we've met the Lovers in the cafe. Do they own the cafe? I think that might be nice. So we're going to need to define these 2 characters. So they are both caring, receptive, and a little untested. perhaps they're on the table next to you and ask if you're okay. What do we think? I quite like the idea of them owning the cafe. If nobody else is going to go against that idea, then cafe owners. So their names are... Anyone want to give me 2 names and a couple of pronouns to go with them? That would be grand. And then we need to find out what their challenge is. What's their struggle that I might be able to help with at the moment? And then we need to work out, are we going to hang out? What do we do? Do we spend time with them? Oh, Philippe and Fiona. I like that. So we've got Philippe and Fiona. Very nice indeed. And they are owners of the cafe. What is their challenge? Have they got a new baby on the way? Planning a wedding? Have they got a secret? I quite like the idea of them planning a wedding. That fits in with the idea of them being like newly in love as well. So Philippe and Fiona are planning their wedding. They have approached me as I am sat in the cafe, and they are going to ask, they're curious about me. I share my woes with them, so I'm going to let them know that I'm looking for somewhere to live, for a permanent place to live. So I'm conscious. That's okay. Don't worry, Ash. This is fine. I'm conscious of not just recreating Kiki, because I know that in Kiki she ends up living with the baker, and so I don't want that to be the case. But maybe these people, maybe Philippe and Fiona, know someone who's got a room to spare. Let's see. Oh, and we need to do their looks as well. So what do they look like? What's their style? I'm getting kind of cottagecore vibes off of Fiona, but so maybe lots of kind of home knit kind of clothes, or kind of quirky. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to hang out. Do you suggest an activity? Do they suggest an activity? Oh, that's a nice one. So they invite me to play board games. A flat above a little row of shops just became vacant. Perfect. Excellent. So maybe they'll take me to look at the little flat, show me where it is, and then we'll go hang out at their house for a bit, which I assume is above the cafe, and play some board games for the evening. I like that. You have to have completed 3 hangouts with an individual person before you can move on to the next stage. You've got to get to know them. So that's our first one. Let's just go back to where we were with this. Okay, so I need to choose another card. Oh, 2 cards from each deck. So I need to choose another one from there. This is the Ladybug, so 4 of Wands. Okay, you've begun hoarding something. What is it? Why do you tell yourself you need it? Okay, so 4 of Wands. Oh, what could that be? You've begun hoarding something. Why do you tell yourself you need it? A situation arises where sharing your hoard is the best solution to address a crisis. Could you let go of it? Oh, I don't feel like I've been there long enough to do that one. Oh, it does say that you can skip an event if you need to. But it's early days. So she does like writing things down. Yes, totally, Ash. I'm writing that down. Dark Academia and Cottagecore. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, love it. Okay. Oh, what am I collecting? I don't know. That's a weird. I'm gonna put that to one side. I'm gonna choose another one and we'll see. Right, 9. What is that? Oh, yeah. I think this might be better as a beginning card. So we've got the 9 of Wands. You visit the cheerless home of a local recluse. What answers are you seeking from them? Why are they so guarded? Maybe they own the flat. Hey, Dylan, welcome. It's all right. I was on time, but late getting started. So, yes, I think that this local recluse is the owner of the flat. So, grumpy old man has the flat that I would like to live in. And I'm going to need to do something in order to get them on side, so to speak. Where's that? I've lost thingamy. I'm having a moment. Hold on. Here we go. Right. So yeah, so we've drawn a card. It was, I'm just checking I'm doing this correctly. It was a minor arcana. The prompt is on page 48. I'm confused. I am confused. No, this was all going so smoothly. Oh, right. so I have to choose from, it says I've got to choose a moment, but I don't see where the moments are. Okay. Whenever your witch does something risky and there is a chance of failure that has interesting consequences, you will need to stack dice. Yes, that is what you missed, Dylan. Yeah, we have found some lovers, and they have pointed me towards a flat that I can stay in above a little row of shops. But that is owned by the local recluse, so I'm going to have to go and get him on side. I'm thinking maybe I need to make him something magic-y to cheer him up. So yeah, I think in between this session and the next, I'm going to have a long read through the rest. I was thinking I should just keep it all a secret as we went through, but I think I need to be more confident with the running of this so that I can get us more into the storytelling. So Ash has an idea that their last tenant got creeped out by the creaking flat, but the ghosts are friendly. Oh, friendly ghosts. I like that. Yeah, we can definitely have ghosts. So, we need to give this grumpy old recluse some details, don't we? So, who is he? I say he. I've automatically assumed man. I don't know. Grumpy old man seems kind of traditional. Maybe not though. So, I am Confucian. Me too. Always. Oh, sorry. Can we just take a minute to enjoy the artwork in this book? It's so pretty. I love it. Oh, not with my lights shining on it, okay? But yeah, so cute. I am planning, and this is slightly off course, I am planning to do some artwork of Amethyst and Peep, and to try and share that, but that hasn't happened yet. But it will. It will. Okay. Yeah. Let's see if we can get through this then. So oh, that's cute. I've just noticed that at the top of the pages there are song recommendations. So that's kind of nice, especially if you're playing this on your own. Okay, so take another card to go along with this one. Knight of Wands. Let's have a look. Knight of Wands. Okay, so this is a risk card. So going to see the old man is a risk. So we're going to have to. How do we know how many? Oh, remove 6 dice. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dice. I think I can probably stack 6 dice. Let's try. Okay. When I was picking out what dice to use, I chose the ones that were more or less similar in size. So there we go. Remember, you are both a witch and a teenager. These roles are burdened with demands and expectations, often in opposition. Which role do you find most comfortable? Okay. The next time you stack dice, you will stack 2 additional dice. If you succeed, you can record a second lesson under any skill. Excellent. Maybe they're grumpy from being misscheduled all day. Plot twist. Maybe. Sheridan for the old recluse. Scraggly, grey hair, walks with a limp. Fab. Yeah. I like this. I don't actually have to do any writing. You guys are writing it. Sheridan. Scraggly grey hair. Walks with a limp. Okay. They live in like that house that the kids spread rumours about, like, oh, don't kick your ball into old man Sheridan's yard because he'll come and hit you with his stick. So yeah. So we've covered some of this. Your confidants. So the lovers, Philippe and Fiona, they learn about your current living arrangements, realizing that you have no secure place to live. They insist on finding you somewhere. So that's what we're doing. Rest for 1 minute. Right, I suppose rude awakening is one of the twists for this one as well. And I think the fact that everybody that I've met so far has been really nice, and then Sheridan is probably grumpy with me. Hi, Sarah. What have you missed? Not a lot. We've settled down in Koriko. We were staying at an inn, but it was quite expensive. And then we went to a cafe. We met a couple who are represented by the lovers card in the tarot. Philippe and Fiona, they are planning their wedding, and they have helped me to find a flat above some shops, which is owned by Sheridan, the very grumpy, slightly scary old chap who lives at one end of the city. I keep saying city because it says city in the book, but I'm feeling more town. But it's definitely more of a bustling metropolis than Woodhaven was. Oh, shoulder length, dark hair, thick accent. Fiona has wavy red hair, chatty bubbly. Love it. Yes. Yeah, I'm going to just pop that up on screen so that I got it to look back on. Thank you. Yeah, love that. So, and also, Sarah, I have realised that I'm not familiar enough with the game mechanic, and I really needed to have practiced that before today. So it's a little disjointed, but I think we've got a good foundation. And we need to choose like the outcome for this situation. So how do I know where to choose from? I don't know. I'm confused again. Okay, so 6 of Swords. Let's have a look at that one. What does this add to? Oh, okay. This fits in nicely. Someone you know is about to embark on a rite of passage. How will society see them differently afterwards? So this is the wedding. This is perfect. Yeah, I like the idea of them being non-binary. Yeah. So yes, the lovers and their wedding. Maybe they feel like they're quite useful and they've got lots of young friends and they'll be the first of their friends to get married. And so that will make them feel like more grown up than their other friends. Why are they afraid they're not ready? What wisdom or gifts can you share with them to help rebuild their resolve? Gosh, I'm only 16. How on earth can I give them any advice about marriage? Oh, upscale town vibes. Yeah, I like that. Gosh, what advice do we give to Philippe and Fiona when they are a bit worried about their wedding? I mean, they seem so in love and so completely besotted with each other that maybe they're worried that, you know, once there's that formal bit of paper, that some of that magic could be lost and the romance could be lost. So what could we do? Could we share a wholesome fable or a potent blessing? Ooh, be excellent to each other. Nice. Oh, remind them their love is pure and true love can get through anything. That's so nice. True love, the power of true love. Nice. Yeah. Perhaps I could show them the acorn that Willow carved for me. And sort of show that love in all forms can survive even when we're being separated for a whole year. Oh, a luck potion. That could be good. Yeah. Ooh, a luck potion. Does casting potions count as a risk? Let's have a look. Does it say? Right, how do we know how many? Right, the choice is shown on the power that behind the card prompt. Right. Okay, so this is power and law. So it would be law skill to make a luck potion. Always choose the skill that makes sense for the story, even if your witch is not very good at it. Stack 3 dice, adding them to your existing tower. Okay. So we're going to add 3 more. To our tower. We've got 6 already. We're going to have 9 by the end. Okay, fine. So we can indeed make the luck potion. Excellent. And we can give them that and tell them to take it like the night before the wedding, so that it gives them a good start. I think that would be nice. So we need to figure out what's going on with old person Sheridan. I suspect, well, we passed the six dice stack of going to see them. Hopefully they are going to be happy enough with the fact that we're not like other kids, and they'll be willing to let us rent the flat. Maybe they would quite like some company, and we could offer to come round, I don't know, once a week and tell them a story, or keep them company, and then that could help. I quite like that idea. That's perhaps a little, rose tinted view of the world, that just offering to keep an old person company would make them rent us their house, or rent us their flat. But I quite like the idea. So tender beginnings, I think that would come under. So tender beginnings. And never lose the magic. I like that. Yeah. If they don't let us rent, we're going to hex them. I don't know if morally I could do that even in a game. So tender beginnings. In order to see if they agree to our terms, that will be another 2 more dice. Okay. But then when I rest, I get to take 6 dice off. So it's okay. We got 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. Is that right? 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 11 dice. Yes, yeah. I'm not planning out their honeymoon for them. I'm not going there. I'm not going to be there with them. They can have their own honeymoon. So right, we have succeeded. So we're going to be living in this flat. What is the flat like? That's the last thing for us to do in this section. So it's a flat above shops. So maybe we could look at, like, what are the shops below? Is it in the same row as the cafe where Philippe and Fiona live? I really want there to be a bookshop, so there's going to be a bookshop. I've decided. Bookshop. So if it is in the same row, so there's the cafe, there's a bookshop, maybe 2 or 3 other shops in the little row. General store. And indeed. Oh gosh, this is really hard coming up with this stuff. straight away. Maybe a hat shop. I like wearing hats. A hat shop would be unusual, or a flower store. Okay, so we'll have flower stall as well. So we've got bookshop, cafe, general store, hat shop, and florist. Oh, lovely. Yep. Little book nook in the window. Yeah. Reading chair, wooden beams, low ceilings, cozy little log burner. Love it. Okay. And so one side looks out onto like the high street essentially. And if I look out the back, then it's trees and I can see the river that runs through the city. And so people can go down there and enjoy a little swim. So yeah, I like that. Let me just write that down. So the flat. Having a window seat where you can sit and read is one of my daughter's like all-time goals of a house. Book reading alcove, low beams, log burner. Yeah, nice. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Brilliant. You guys are good at this. So given how little we've achieved today, it's a little unfortunate really, but the next thing to do would be to rest and write a letter home anyway, because that would be the end of our first sort of getting to know people in the city. We will have somewhere secure to stay. I like to think that we'll be making friends with the bookshop owner next. I think that's going to be on my list of people to meet and maybe get a little job in the bookshop. I think that might be nice. Spiders and spiderwebs in the corner of the flat with plump spiders that spend their time making intricate weavings and humming to themselves. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, I'm not the biggest spider fan, but if one's sitting up in the corner, keeping itself to itself, I'm happy enough. Haberdashery. Haberdashery with the hat shop, I think maybe. Hats and haberdashery. That's what it can be called. Lovely. Love it, love it, love it. So yeah, I wanted to get a little job in the bookshop. That's kind of I think that would be nice. And then we're going to start writing a letter back home, talking about the people that we've met and the things that we've learned. And we need to reflect on how people are different in Koriko. Has my style changed since moving to the city? How do people dress differently? So maybe a trip to the haberdashery is in need. A wool shop, nice. Yeah, we're gonna have 2 rows of shops at this point. I might draw up a little map, a little bird's eye view, so that we've got everything in our heads as to where it all is. Yeah, so in the letter, which I will write in the downtime, we have to say what we've learned, how are people different, are we feeling lonely, have we made friends, talk about spring, and what we've achieved. So I think we'll be prepping everything in the run up to the wedding. I think that's going to be the big spring event. So that will be what I will write about. So I am super sorry that this was a little slow getting started and not as smooth running as the last session felt like it had been. I was really expecting the rest of the book to continue in the same sort of fashion of being very much a step-by-step guide, but we're much more left to our own devices once we get to this stage, which is great because it gives the game a lot of playability, replayability, because every time you play it will be different. But it's not great for me trying to figure it out on my own publicly, but it'll be fine. Oh, that's true. Peep can eat some of the spiders. Oh, so yes. Thank you. Ah! Oh no, that doesn't count. We'd already finished. But I'll make a note that we had 11. So it was 11 dice. And then we lose 6 after the rest anyway. So there we go. I will sort all these cards out again, figure that out, and yeah, get back to writing everything up nice and neat in here. I did mention last time about the fact that my set had come with some stickers. So I have used them because it wants us to write up about the cards. It gave me stickers that were wands, cups, swords and coins, and also powers, craft, care and lore, which are our skills. So I've done my pages in there like that, and then yeah, the rest of it is just all the notes all written up in a way that is slightly more readable than my chicken scratch scrawl that's in this book. So that is where we're at. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm sorry it was a bit all over the place. If you are just tuning into this today, do go back and watch the first part, because I think it'll explain a lot more and a lot clearer. And by the time we revisit Koriko next Wednesday, I will be on it. I promise. I will have figured it all out. But yeah, so that's everything for today. I now need to go and put my tarot deck back together. So yes, thank you all for joining me. Apologies again for it being a little bit rough around the edges today. Do all that YouTubey stuff, please. It really helps. And consider the membership stuff. And Friday's video, just to give you the little heads up, is going to have the competition details in for my milestone competition that is very late in being published, but yeah, for hitting that YouTuber membership milestone. And so that will be in Friday's video. Got to be in it to win it, so go check that out once it is up. And in the community tab thing, let me know what times and days work well for you if you are not in the UK and you want to take part in some of the Zoom get-togethers. Okay, I think I've rambled enough. Thank you so much again. Huge big loves to all of my supporters on Patreon and the channel members here on YouTube. You mean the world. And until next time, stay crafty.